In the headlines today, the Supreme Court unanimously denied an attempt to overturn Pennsylvania's election results. You know, the Supreme Court, the one to which Trump himself has appointed 3 justices, they voted unanimously against the Trump administration's petition, which was the first such request to delay or overturn the presidential election results that reached the highest court in our land. There were no dissents. Why is that, do you think? Was it some matter of law? Perhaps a lack of evidence? Was it that even his own appointees want him out and as such didn't bother to look too closely for legal loopholes? Or was it the fact that the right-wing justices know that the Supreme Court needs to at least appear apolitical and not like the radical neocons that half of them or a little more than half of them are? In my humble opinion, it's a dog and pony show. How convenient that they all voted together to toss the injunction when it's quite clear that Trump did not have an electoral victory in that state anyway. I am not holding my breath for them to vote in unison and apolitically on issues like a woman's bodily autonomy or corporate personhood or any of those other ones that benefit the right and the corporations of our country. Despite admissions from some key Trump allies like Bill Barr, our U.S. attorney, who is still our U.S. attorney for just a few more days. Even Bill Barr had said that there's no evidence of mass voter fraud, that the president, his attorneys, and other supporters have continued to make baseless allegations and file lawsuits that have provoked calls for sanctioning Trump's own campaign and his own lawyers, which I look forward to having that happen. But that doesn't mean Texas isn't going to try to get up in the old crazy town. On the same day as the U.S. Supreme Court resoundingly denied overturning Pennsylvania's election results, Texas filed a lawsuit against Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. The case alleges that changes made to election procedures due to the coronavirus pandemic are unlawful. It also accuses election officials in the 4 states of failing to protect mail-in voting from fraud, thus diminishing the weight of votes cast in states that are lawfully abiding by the election structure set forth in the Constitution. State election officials have said they found no evidence of such fraud and would, change the results. That would change the results. No evidence. And local and national officials have declared that it was the most secure election in U.S. history. But Texas, didn't y'all want to secede from the Union at one time? Didn't y'all want to secede at one point? There's still time. Meanwhile, civil rights advocates are sounding the alarm about voter suppression efforts in Georgia, where election officials in one of the state's most populous counties announced they would slash the number of early voting sites for the upcoming runoff elections because I guess they aren't expecting a crowd to come out and vote for the literal future of humanity. The officials plan on closing 6 of the county's 11 advanced polling locations. They're claiming they don't have the resources to keep them all open. And given the corruption at the highest levels of government in that state, I wouldn't be surprised if they are running low on resources. But most of the polling places are staffed with volunteers. Anyway, half a dozen groups include the Georgia NAACP, the ACLU of Georgia, and the Southern Poverty Law Center sent a strongly worded letter to the Cobb County Board of Commissioners and the Board of Elections and Registration, urging them not to cut back on early voting sites. Some 760,000 people live in that county, which lies just northwest of Atlanta. Its population is nearly 29% Black, over 13% Latinx, and although long a Republican stronghold has become more liberal in recent years, you can go to fairfight.com to help fight voter suppression in the state of Georgia. Again, fairfight.com. You're watching ACT TV. I'm Julianna Forlano.